Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again, I'm Doc Rodden, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-host Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. Tonight, we review the film from IFC, Hunter, Hunter. Not repeating myself. I am not repeating myself. All right, let's find out who's with us tonight. Starting off with the one and only Jeff Mohr. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
Hi, Doc. Hi, Doc.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Crystal. Hi, Crystal. I am repeating myself.
Oh, I started something very, very bad. All right, also joining us tonight is Crystal Cleveland. She's the living dead girl. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm just like in my winter wonderland, about to go,
look at all that
hunting.
Snow.
Wouldn't that
So
be
wild.
beautiful? Yeah.
Sure.
Wait, it's a little bloody river.
Oh, it is.
Killer.
How did you get to
There
Bloody
is.
River?
I found it on the internet.
No. All right. Okay, we'll go with that. All right. So what we do here is we review movies, and what we do is we give our initial reaction. We talk about the film for a little bit, and then we wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. So tonight we are talking about Hunter, Hunter. This is coming from IFC. It's available in theaters, on digital, and on demand, December 18th. 2020. The director and writer is Shawn Linden. The cast includes Camille, Sullivan, Summer H. Howell, Devon, Sawa, and Nick Stahl. The synopsis is Joseph and his family live in the remote wilderness as fur trappers, but their tranquility is threatened when they think they are being hunted by the return of a rogue wolf, and Joseph leaves them behind to track it. And then everything goes wrong. I had the last bit. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to give our initial thoughts about this film. I'm just going to start off with one thing. Because of the poster, we'll look at it again. I was thinking this might be a werewolf film. It's not. It's not a werewolf film.
Well, why would you tell?
Yeah.
Because I think it'll disappoint people if they go and think it's a werewolf film.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. Did I ruin everything just right out of the gate? Just kind of.
Well, I think leaving the mystery
I've been trying to figure out what that
bad.
was.
I was thinking, okay, so I'm just going to be honest going in. I thought it could be a werewolf movie even as we were still going through this movie.
I was okay
until a point. Yeah.
I was wanting it to be so bad, but okay.
Right. Oh, really?
Yes.
Huh? And it disappointed you because
no,
of that?
No. I just don't want others to be.
See?
Yeah.
Ah.
All right, so let's do this. Crystal, you're up first.
Okay. I was not ready for this movie.
Uh-oh. Messed you up?
No. It was freaking awesome. I just wasn't ready for this. This was so gory at a point. It was so awesome. I can't believe it's an IFC movie. Okay, I was like, isn't that beautiful? But I'm really messed up. So, and it's at the end, and it's not I don't think this movie can be described as a slow burn. It's shot beautifully. The acting is phenomenal from everyone. I think the story is interesting, and it's actually kind of a simple story. The only issues I had with this movie were character choices and character things and ways of life that should just have never been the way that they are. I mean, so I've been watching this show called Alone on Hulu. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a survivalist show. So this was just right up my alley right now because I've been watching these people like living in the wilderness, and the way that this family lives is crazy. It's like they don't live with the times, and to their detriment. I mean, they're pretty isolated. They don't have any sort of help or support, and that's such a scary place to be. And you really realize how you need when you live like that. You do need a community, and we don't have communities anymore that live like that. So you can't really support that sort of life. because when one member goes or is out hunting or is gone, maybe the other ones can't, take care of themselves. It's really, there's a lot to this movie. I wasn't crazy about the choices that the father made. I felt like they were reckless, and quite frankly, I just was mind blown. I guess I kind of felt the same way about the sheriff as well. But it's a small town, so I'm trying to let those things go, for the movie and for the story. So that is the only issues I had with this movie at all. Everything else I think was really done brilliantly. I mean, it is such an interesting tale. And you think that's kind of going one way and doing one thing. And of course you see what's happening and you know what's going to happen, but you don't know what's going to happen. And no one is going to give this away. I don't want us to give anything away. I think spoiling this would be really horrible. Right. So, yeah, this could possibly make it in my top 10.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
it's possible.
I like that thought. I will say that your first comment, I think, is hinted at, and maybe we can talk about that later in the show or after the show. Mm-hmm. But let's find out what Jeff thought, shall we? Jeff, what is your first impression of Hunter x Hunter?
I like this quite a bit as well, and it did take a turn that I didn't expect. And yeah, it's not a werewolf movie, so I enjoyed this. I think I kind of like this whole idea of the survivalist drama and the dangers that you're subject to, not in a TV show where they obviously have camera crews and everybody else there. So, but
don't on Alone. You'll love it.
Oh, okay. So that's like a found footage kind of thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I think that's why I like the zombie apocalypse. I like apocalyptic type thing. So in a way, this is almost apocalyptic. Now, other than the type of lifestyle that they were living, I thought all the choices all throughout the film made sense. What people did, that there were several decisions that people made, that a decision the other way might have changed everything, but could have gone either way.
Not warning someone about dangers, though.
Not warning.
Yeah, no, not warning them about the dangers was reckless.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Might have to hit that one up later.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. Good acting, and we've got the actors in here. We've seen these people on other stuff, and I was a little shocked. We just saw the female lead, Camille Sullivan. She was just on Hellstrom.
Oh.
She played the woman that was they were like twin sisters.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. She played both. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, and Summer Howell, who plays their daughter, Renee, she's been on some things too recently. Channel Zero.
Cool.
What did I see? Cult of Chucky.
I loved Cult of Chucky, actually.
And I know there was another one, but I don't remember. Oh, Midnight Man.
Oh.
That we reviewed, I don't know, a couple years ago, maybe.
It feels like a century ago, but yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
Because it was before me, so yeah, I was like, did it even exist? No.
If Crystal didn't see it, does the movie exist? No. Okay. But so yeah, and I don't know. I could sort of see the father's. Crystal said he doesn't. Some of the decisions aren't necessarily the best, but I can sort of see them in a certain way getting kind of. I think people that work around that are around that all the time tend to get lulled into a sense of safety, maybe, or comfort with it that isn't warranted. Happens all the time around here. I mean, I live in the middle of a whole bunch of farmland, and farmers are always having accidents that they should know better, They're just not being respectful of the equipment. So maybe, I think he could possibly get there. But I do agree there was a couple of decisions that I didn't like either. I don't know. I'm just rambling. I really enjoyed it. A lot of tension. I'll stop there because I can't think of what to say without giving something away.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm going to kind of repeat what you guys say in a bit for a little bit, but I really enjoyed this. I didn't know what to expect. Of course, I admitted it early up. I was kind of hoping it was something else, and it isn't, and that didn't bother me. I really enjoyed what this is, and they are literally, there is a rogue wolf out there, but there's also something else. There is something else, and that twist it grows. It's one of these twists that evolves instead of just like happens. And I really enjoyed that. We start getting a little bit of clues rather rapidly, but we still get these clues that kind of lead up to what is happening. The family dynamic between these three, I really enjoyed. I think these three characters, the mother, the father, and the mother, Renee, are really fleshed out extraordinarily well. And you understand the relationships, especially between the father and the daughter, and the conflict between the husband and the wife. And then, of course, later in the film, the mother and the daughter. And people have to step up and become a little bit more than what we learned they are at the beginning to make it through this film. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed getting into these characters and facing the fears. I felt like I was with them, facing these fears of what's happening. The unknown. What's happened? What's happened with Dad? Where's the father at? Is he safe? It's Joseph, right? His name was Joseph. Is Joseph safe? Is he going to return? Because we don't know. And the reason they're survivalists is because they don't trust anybody, and something happens where they have to take that step, and does it? Should they? Shouldn't they? And it just. I really enjoyed a lot of how this was built, and the horror is there, and you may feel like you're waiting, the entire film for it, and maybe you are, but you get the horror is in the fear, not in the actions for a lot of this film. The fear of the wolf, the fear of the unknown, the fear of isolation, the fear of starving to death if you don't find the right food.
How short-sighted their short-sightedness is their weakness. It's horrible.
So but it all felt authentic, and they set it up that you believe these people are doing this, whether you agree that they should or not, or whether it's a smart decision. You understand their position and that they take this action, and I don't know. It evolved really interesting, and I think there's some subtle hints in here. There's a lot more to it than I think they give us in the film. And then we do have the lack of. I mean, I think they're more game wardens, but they're not quite. I guess they are sheriff and police, but they're
she went to the office.
Right? Was it?
Office. They were officers,
because they spent most of the time getting
because that's
wares and
what
stuff.
Sheriffs do in small towns.
Which you would think is more of a game warden thing, but but anyway, that doesn't matter, and they're interesting characters too, the two of them, and one of them just suffers a horrible fate that is excruciating. A little bit of spoiler.
What?
Well,
that's totally spoiler. No.
I gotta give somebody something.
Someone has told us we give too many spoilers, so they're like, y'all spoil too much.
I dropped that. You won't be surprised. So I guess in the end, I really enjoyed this, and I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, and I was going in as ISC, so I was going in optimistic and thinking I was going to enjoy it, and it actually paid off, and it sticks the landing in the best way that this film could have. I really enjoyed how this ended with with a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to stop right there.
Okay, so what I want to say is I don't have a problem with the way that they choose to live, but if you're going to choose to live like that, you better darn well know how to skin an animal. I am so bothered by the
Yeah,
mother
that
in
was
this
just the
regard.
dad, just both of
You've
them.
been living out there. You have got to have backups. You have got to know what to do. You've got to know how to do it. It doesn't work if you don't know how to take care of yourself. That is the quickest way to die. I mean, it's insane, and it's shocking to me that she was so ill-equipped to take care of what happens if something happens to the dad. Not saying it's going to, but what if it does at some point? Then what?
Do you
You don't
feel
even
like
know how to skin an animal, and you have
she?
no money, and you're apparently living on land that doesn't even belong to y'all, but you don't even know it. Oh, it's just so I'm like, God, people, you've just worked yourself in a really horrible position. And that's what I
It's
guess
not.
is the
It's not their.
hardest for
But
me.
it's not their only property. They have other property that they leave for, right? So they bounce back and forth.
Yeah, they a winter cabin or something, and then yeah. But how do you know if it's who knows? I just find that so sad. I'll tell you this, if I decided to live like that, I would know how to do all that. I'd want to be able to take care of myself. It's important. It's very important. And it's great that the daughter was learning,
Well, I
but
thought
it's not enough.
she's definitely the
Yeah.
strongest character and
Yeah.
the lead for a good part of it. She is definitely the
Yeah.
character you
Oh,
root
she
for
did
and
such
want
a
to-
great job
Yeah,
too.
she was fantastic. I mean, I thought all three of them were in their own way.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
everyone is. Yeah, of course.
And what's interesting is that the fear, the attention, is when they're isolated, right? The more that they're apart, the more you feel
Yeah,
that
tension. Yeah, it was
and fear.
scary.
And when they're together, you feel a little more safe, right? Um, so I really liked how they built this, and even there's one element by the lake, one scene that I
Oh
really
yeah.
enjoyed. I really enjoyed how that played out. A lot of interesting behavior there that worked out well. And okay, so small spoilers. You do get the wolf. All right, so there is a wolf in this movie, and I thought that was handled extraordinarily well.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, who's the real enemy? You'll have to find out.
Well, I liked what the deputy said. Right, it was like the wolf's doing what the wolf does. What
Yeah.
what are we supposed
Just
to
like
do?
with the bear, when they were handling the bear, it's like, hey, you're leaving food out. The bear's going to come get you. Nom, 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 noms.
Yep.
You know, he's
And
hungry.
yeah. And they give him the fine because they got said, what are you doing? Get the right can, dude.
Oh God, yeah.
So I mean, but I like the difference. She was like, well, you just went and got the bear. I said, well, the bear was in, on people's property. You're out there. You're on his property. So I like that. I liked what that meant, and I liked how that one exchange, that one dialogue exchange, kind of supported what was happening in the story and accented it. And then I like that kind of dialogue, in a film.
I do kind of wish more was played out with the wolf. And I'm not going to say anything else about it because I don't want to give anything away. But the fact that she was so disturbed by the wolf, there's so much underlying there. And it's so good. Like, even the sheriff says it. He's like, yeah, she's been living out there too long, but she's really afraid of this wolf. And I mean, of course, we
So
can see
why?
why.
Why? Yeah.
But he doesn't understand. He's like, there's something more to it. And I felt like there was something more to it. Like there was more of a story there that we didn't get. And I love that. And they didn't have to tell us that. But I still think they could have built even a little bit more on that. It's kind of cool.
Yes.
Jeff, you're
and
quiet.
I agree, but I took it. Well, no, I took it as being kind of like, you read stories now about people that are like, as wildlife is deplenished, the predators have to come further and further out of their normal territory and get closer to people. And so people that have been jogging down some trail for years are now getting stalked by mountain lions and stuff.
Coyotes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I took it that way, as this was, they wouldn't be safe even going to get water, which is apparently
Which is apparently true, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that happens even here locally. They're talking about bears and coyotes here. So And we're
Oh, weird.
I'm just outside of
Well,
Raleigh,
we
North
have
Carolina.
deers.
So,
Yeah, we have
Yeah, we
deers in
heard
the backyard. Yeah,
yeah.
we
it's
heard
We do
crazy.
too,
coyotes. Last time we had the window open, I heard
but
coyotes having an orgy or something out across.
they're having a good old time, having a redneck party.
I like it.
All right, there we go, Crystal. That's a winner right there.
Look at me! Look at me! Sorry, that's not a giveaway.
No, but it happens. Oh, we haven't mentioned Nick Stahl terribly much. Nick Stahl's in this film as well, and
I didn't want to talk about him because I
he's
think
really good though in this movie.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic. His character is so
They're all good.
so difficult. It's hard to talk about. I don't want to give anything away.
I think I liked all of them, including
Yeah.
the two sheriffs,
The sheriff and the
deputies
deputy.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Man,
that.
it's what's great about this movie is it makes you want to know more because I want to know more about what all is going on there.
Yeah, because there's a lot going on there that I don't think we're told. But I think that's part of what's interesting here.
Yeah.
Because it colors the story, but it isn't the story, right? Now we've had other films that we've talked about where we don't get enough information and it kind of loses the film. The stuff we're talking about isn't integral to the conflict that we're talking about with the family, right? The family and their survival.
Like the characters are interesting.
Right.
So you want to know more about them, even though you don't necessarily need to.
Right. And you get what you need to know, and the story's told, and you understand their motivations, you understand, their dynamics, and it's shot extraordinarily well. It's really, it's a lot of outdoorsy shots, and it's beautiful. I mean, you'd want to visit this cabin. You might not want to live there, but you'd want to visit. You definitely wouldn't want to be caught there in the snow like Crystal behind her there. But
oh yeah,
yeah. There's a lot to like about this film, and I'm really happy, Crystal, that you're considering it for your top 10.
Yeah, I mean, the payoff is awesome.
I am going to watch this one again. I definitely will watch.
I would say this should be top death of the year.
Oh, nice,
probably.
Nice.
Yeah, like
it's
so good, so beautiful, and I like the music even, and that music shouldn't even fit with the movie, but it does, and just the way it's handled. I don't want to say anything more, but it's art.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple things that happen that have been in other films that have become quite tropish, with certain items that you find out in the woods that trappers might use. And it kind of felt like it was heading in that direction, but I think how they handled it was extraordinarily well done. Yeah. And they made it better than it could have been by some choices that either the writers or directors made when they did that scene. There's a lot of horrific things that happen. So horror fans are going to be. It's going to be interesting. There's a lot to like about this for horror fans, but it isn't a monster movie or a horror film in the way that many horror fans are looking for.
I don't know. I mean,
it could be if by interpretation.
I think if you just I have to say bullshit on that because Hereditary is so boring, so boring. I barely made it through to the final payoff, but when it paid off, I was like, "Oh, I get it. Finally, it gave me what I wanted." But I almost cut the movie off. I almost cut Hereditary off before the payoff. Yeah, it was that boring to me.
Okay.
And then this movie was not anything like that.
I will shit on your bullshit.
Because I mean, just the wolf chasing and actually there is no wolf chase. Okay, so I'm not spoiling anything.
There isn't, right?
But kind of, yeah. But it's like it's exciting. It's exciting until it becomes gruesome at a point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that
Well,
It's not going to be for the slashers, the ones who just want to see kill after kill after kill. No, not that sort of horror movie lover. If that's all you love, don't bother with this movie. But I hope that the people that are listening and watching this will expand their palate
I
to
will say
IFC.
I would say that the dread in this film is palpable throughout most of it. Once it
Yeah,
gets
it's
to a
just
point where our
good.
characters separate, it's always there. You kind of feel it in the air, and I like that. I like how they handle that atmosphere and tension. So, and it just keeps twisting that rubber band as it goes. So.
You know, it's funny because I saw an article about this movie and I knew we were going to watch it and review it. And I didn't want to read it because I don't like to see anything or
Hmm.
watch anything. I don't watch trailers even most of the time because I just want to go in blind. But I did kind of skim it and it said something about how messed up it was. And I was like, this movie is not.
Oh, wait.
Okay. 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 I see you now. I see you. You got me.
All
Well, they
right.
don't even though there is some very graphic stuff, they don't feel the need to be graphic for the sake of being graphic, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Well,
There are
yeah, if
things,
you notice, yes, they don't show one at all. At
Right.
right,
all. Nothing.
right.
But you know. And then the other one that's deserved, you
see
see
everything.
everything. I think that is such a freaking awesome choice. It totally works for me. I am all about that vengeance and getting that retribution, and it's like pow, pow, pow. But you don't want to see innocence lost.
Although
'Cause that's just
you definitely feel it, though. You definitely feel it.
And
Yeah.
that's all you need. That's all you need. It's perfect. It was perfect. You didn't. It was what. It's just what. It was well done. It was well done. That's all.
All right. Well, there you go. That's our review. But what we're going to do now is give our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. But before we do, if you're enjoying this, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell to be reminded. All of that, which is easy to do. Just one button, 2 buttons, if you want 3. And that'll all help other people find us as well.
Right.
And we would appreciate that greatly. If you see this film, or when you see this film, let's put it that way, please let us know what you
Yeah.
think of it down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yes. I bet there's more to it too. Maybe people will see something
is
more.
a werewolf film.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is, and I just didn't get it. All right, so I also want to do one last thing before we move on, and that is to thank our patrons. Yes, they help keep this show, H&R, Decades of Horror and Heroes and Droids, going strong. Yeah, we're closing for H&R, closing on 8 years. Wow, isn't that
That's
crazy?
so awesome.
Isn't that
What's
crazy?
up with that?
Get off my lawn! But everybody that's part of our Patreon, thank you very much. And if you're interested in helping us in that way, look for the links below. Thank you so much. All right, it's time. Our final thoughts, our score, and favorite scene. And Crystal, you are up first.
So,
Yes.
everyone should see this movie. I think.
Oh, wow.
I really think you just need to give it some time. You need to just close your mouth, just sit down in the dark, just watch it to the very end, and you'll like it. And I think it'll be a really. I think it's just such a well-made film. I think it just came out of nowhere for me, and it just kind of blew my mind a bit, and I really, really enjoyed it. I'm giving it a 4.25.
Wow.
I was gonna go, yeah,
That's high for you. Yeah.
yeah, and
What's the highest you've given? Could you don't
I
do
haven't
5?
given it. I did give something a 4.75.
Gosh, what was it?
Was it Guns Akimbo?
Might have been.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's definitely gonna be in my top 10.
Yeah, that's coming up
and
in a few weeks.
Oh, no kidding.
Oof. I obviously, you know what scene I want to take as my favorite scene, because I mean,
Do it.
it's like art with a knife. I mean, I would watch this movie. I should have just rewound it and rewatched it over and over, because I think it was so sweet and it was so cool. And I love I just have to take that, and the aftermath and I mean, You'll know it when you get to it. It's like it's like the pinnacle of the movie for sure. And I even like the way they wrapped it up, and yeah, you'll get it when you see it, and then you'll be like, oh, I see why she likes this movie.
Yeah, she will. She will.
She's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
It's good. All right, Jeff Mohr, you're up next. Your final thoughts, your score, favorite scene.
She's right. This is a very good movie.
Don't let that go to your head.
Well, there's not too much. There's not too much negative to say about this that I can think of. No, but I so I'm going to go. What am I going to go? I'm going to go 4.25 as well.
4.25.
Good.
It's almost a 4.5. Almost.
I know. That's why I was like teetering too. I was like, ooh.
4.33.
Well, technically. Well, anyway. Favorite scene is a bit of a tough one. I'm
There's
going
a
to
lot.
say when she I wanted to take something earlier, but I can't think of a specific scene. So I'm gonna say when the mother is out from the cabin, kind of looking for her husband, and she tries calling him on the phone.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Anyway, I won't go any
Yeah.
farther than that.
Yes, yes. I like that quite a bit too. All right, I feel like I'm gonna repeat you guys for Hunter. I like this quite a bit. I liked it even better than I was hoping I would. So it's well acted, it's well directed. The cinematography is fantastic, the music is fantastic, the script is fantastic. It's the tension is throughout the film. Once you get into discovering that the wolf has returned. You get this story about the wolf being back. So you know that they're afraid of it, and you kind of start buying into that, and then other things pile on top of that, and it really gets you. And then by the time things get out of control, you truly give a shit about these characters. You care about these three characters, so you don't want bad things to happen to them. You want them to survive the ordeal that they're encountering with this wolf and being out in the woods alone. And will they or won't they? And it's that the success of the film, no matter how well it was made, rides on you caring about those characters, because it is so the structure is so bare in that respect, and it succeeds. I think 100%. It really, you buy into it, you like them, and I'm going to give this. I'll give this.
You're going to do a 4 point.
I'm going to do 4.25.
Yeah.
4.25. Why not? I'll just go with it. And there's a couple things I could choose as my favorite scene. There's a scene with a lawn chair and some bear traps, but I'm going to go with the when you see that scene, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to go with the encounter with the wolf on the lake, or the riverside.
Yeah.
And I just really enjoyed how that played out. And there's a lot going on there.
And the mom is so cool there.
She's very cool. You get to see her strength and her courage. You get to see, the caring about the caring of the daughter, her position. It's so interesting how the actions, inform that scene so much. Both and with the wolf as well, right? If you really think about it, the wolf has some as well, and it's I don't know. It's just a small little scene, but I thought it really struck me, that particular one. There's a whole lot else that I could have chosen. There's a lot of good scenes in this.
Yeah.
Some incredibly gory, some not. There's
some just the idea of gore.
Yeah.
Not you know.
the implications of
Mm-hmm.
what is that wolf carrying? There's all kinds of cool things.
There's a lot of dread. You said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really well done film, and congratulations to the cast and crew on this. Good job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you see this, and we know you will, let us know what you think.
It's gonna be a holiday classic.
Yeah, is it going to be a holiday classic?
No.
There's snow. There's fire.
All right, Jeff, Crystal, thank you for joining me. This was a incredibly fun discussion. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
This was great.
All right, let's say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.